Wow, that was a weird interruption yesterday. Well, time to finish all this up with Duelist Friendship Cup Bright Future by Drinky C. Sunset and Twilight stared at the fallen form of the Crystal Prep principal. Sombra laying on the grass across from them, moaning weakly. Sombra? The two turned their heads and watched as Vice Principal Hope ran onto the field and net next to him. The shadow bolts approached them and watched as the two spoke. Sunset's friends clustered around her, chattering wildly. What happened? Rainbow's voice rose from above the others. They fell silent, and Sunset began to answer. Sombra challenged me to a duel for my magic, Sunset whispered. But Twilight and I beat him together. Together? Pinky guessed. Well, that must be a sugar show. Across the field, Sombra, having stood up with Hope's assistance, said something to Hope and began walking towards Twilight and Sunset. Shadow bolts behind them. The two tensed as he approached, but Sunset's expression softened as he examined his face. He was confused. Twilight, Sunset. Sombra bowed his head. I see that you were able to conclude your duel. The two stared a look before Twilight answered, Yeah, Sunset won. Hope spoke up. When those strange clouds obscured the duel and we couldn't get a signal from it, Principal Sombra went to check on you. He said he was worried about you two. I'll bet he did. Sunset spread her arms. Well, we're fine. Evidently. Sombra winced and reached to his head. I regret I was not able to make out much of the duel. I am sure it was quite a contest. Sunset gasped softly, her eyes widening. He's lost his magic. Then, you didn't see our duel? Not that I can recall. Sombra frowned, his eyes looking away. I am uncertain as to why. This tournament is quite important to me. But if Twilight admits to her loss, I will accept her word. He tilted his head and gave Twilight a knowing look. She has been rather persistent in her efforts to overcome you, Sunset. Oh, come on! Indigo Zap protested. No way! We didn't even get to see the final battle! What a rip! Sugarcoat softened and looked at Twilight. Twilight, is this true? What you said earlier? Twilight cut her off with an awkward laugh and walked past Sombra to the shadow bolts. Yeah, long story. Maybe let's not get into that right now. She glanced back at Sunset, and the other girl gave Twilight a nod. Footsteps caused both girls to look over at Celestia and Luna stepping across the field. It is unfortunate that once again, some sort of weather disruptions made us unable to watch the final duel. Celestia stopped. Or perhaps some sort of holographic malfunction? Indeed. Sombra nodded. Yet, there is no reason for my student to lie about such a thing. While he may not have witnessed it, clearly a duel was held and won, and a victory has been found. He smiled at Sunset and extended an arm. Congratulations, Sunset. Sunset stared at the offered hand, then up at Sombra's face. She slowly reached out and wrapped her hand around his and let him take it. Thank you, Principal Sombra. Celestia smiled at her well. You didn't just win a duel, Sunset. You won the Friendship Cup on behalf of Caroline High. The stands of CHS erupted in cheers. Sunset looked down as Sombra let go of her and awkwardly waved, causing the cheers to grow louder. Rainbow Dash and Applejack whooped, Rainbow throwing her arm around Fluttershy's shoulder. Chuckling softly, Celestia turned to Sombra and shook his hand. Thank you for coming, Principal Sombra. Sombra turned her hand and gently pressed his lips to it. And thank you for hosting us, Principal Celestia. I look forward to next year's tournament. As do I. Sombra released Celestia's hand and looked at the students behind him. Be good sports. We are duelists after all. Wondercults and the Shadow Bolts looked at each other cautiously. They stepped towards one another, and the Shadow Bolts looked at Twilight. What really happened in there? Indigo demanded. She glared at Sunset. We know you guys have magic or something. Twilight told us everything. Sunset looked at Twilight. Twilight glanced at the principals, who were now talking amongst themselves. Principal Sombra has magic. He infused me with some of it to try and get me to beat Sunset. She paused and inhaled. But it was dark power. I couldn't. It's okay, Twilight. Sunset put a hand on her shoulder and looked between the shadow bolts. Yes, we have magic. Manifest when we duel, granting us our new cards. But none of us control it, or at least we can't yet. How many of you cheated? Saraswati snapped. Just Rarity, Rainbow, and me. Sunset said. And we didn't cheat, Rainbow insisted, marching in front of Saraswati. It's not like we tried to magic our way to victory. Wouldn't it have stopped you? Indigo replied, standing next to Saraswati. You didn't seem too sorry about it now. We didn't have magic before the tournament, and we don't know how we caught it, Rarity protested. How could we know what was going to happen? Enough! Sunset pushed her way between the two and forced them apart. She looked between the two groups angrily. Don't you see? This is the kind of attitude that made this tournament so hated at Caroline. Anger and bitterness over losing. She took a breath to compose herself, gave the sailboats a calm look. A few months ago, my friends were connected by magic, and I was touched by that same magic. I got a good look at myself, and I let my magic become. I became cruel and selfish, someone that used their power to hurt others. I was given a chance to change. Sunset looked at her Duelist, smiling softly. This deck used to belong to a friend. He trusted me to take care of it. I don't think she was intended to, but however she did it, she left some of her magic behind us. Maybe it was sleeping within my deck, or within me, or all of us. We have it now. We have to make the decision what to do with it. She raised her head and looked at her friends. I don't know the answer to that question yet, but I do know that using it like we did today, like Somber did, it's the exact wrong thing to do. Using magic to win duels for you. Doesn't matter how or why you do it, or if you can control it, or hurt anyone. It's not right. You still did it, Indigo said. What? So what? It happened. You didn't mean it, but you're really sorry? Yes. Sunset shook her head. It's not good enough, I understand, but it's all I can offer. She put her hand on her deck and took a deep breath. My deck symbolizes the bonds I share with my friends. Our magic is the magic of friendship. That's a power that should never be used like it was today. I can't fix the mistakes I've already made. All I can do is make sure it doesn't happen again. She lowered her duel disc. We all dueled our best. Some of us won, some of us lost. No, it wasn't always fair. But we keep nursing that grudge until next year. We'll end up the same kind of person I used to be. Someone who just doesn't want us to win and doesn't care how. She turned her head between the two groups. I know my friends won't let that happen, and I don't think Crystal Prep would either. She spread her arms and gestured to the two. So, do we want to go home angry? Or do we want to agree to do better next year, whatever that means for us? A moment of silence passed. The Rainbow took out her deck, flipped through it from the card. Then she reached to the other side of her duel disc and pulled out another. Sucks that cards this cool aren't real, she muttered. She gripped the paper between her fingers and pulled, tearing the card too. The halves of her new UA cards fluttered to the ground, stepped over them, and extended an arm to Indigo Zap. You're a hell of a duelist! Indigo eyed the Harvard hand carefully, just smirked and gripped it tightly, pumping hard. You too. Have to be on my toes at least. When I come back next year, you better beat me fair and square. Wait, let's go right now! Rainbow shot back. Oh, please. Sugarcoats rolled her eyes and opposed double check. You didn't use magic, correct? Nope. Y'all got me good. Elzak smiled to two shook hands. You are a worthy opponent, Sugarcoats said, returning the smile. As the two pulled their hands back, a russet pink flew past them. You gotta come back sometime! Piggy wailed, wrapping her arms around Lemon's nest and squeezing tight. I'll see more of you transforming super robots! Lemon allowed to give a hard noogie to Piggy's hair. And I want to see one of those crazy tube monsters. Even I get some of these type dudes when you have a giant crouching robot battle! Dude, awesome! Saraswati stopped up to Fluttershy. The other girl streaking back for her. Saraswati crossed her arms and looked down at her. You almost beat my Amazon deck with a bunch of navy animals. Yes, but you still won, Fluttershy squeaked. Saraswati smirked and held her hand. But it was still pretty close. Fluttershy cautiously extended her hand. Saraswati grabbed it and pulled her forward. See you next year, she hissed. She did grin again, enthusiastically shook her hand. Sunny Flare turned her head as Rarity walked up to her, sniffed and tossed her hair. If you're not expecting a handshake and a pat on the back for cheating, you can think again. Actually, I was thinking if you wanted the distinction of tearing up my crystal overfusion. Rarity held her hand up, the card between her fingers. I won't be needing it in the future. Sunny frowned. Is tearing it up supposed to make me feel better? She slumped aside. It won't. Just because that card was fake doesn't mean all the other cards you used to beat me down on too. You could easily beat me in the concert the other way. Indeed. Rarity smiled and shrugged. That's the nature of the duel, isn't it? A duel isn't worth playing until some element of talks. I guess not. Sai reached out and put the spell card for Rarity, thrust her away to grip her hand. Well, me next, dude. You'll give me a fat mox. Asa! Rarity giggled. I do look forward to seeing those hazy creatures again. They really are quite dazzling. Thanks. You'll kiss the beast, too. Apart from the two groups, they began to talk and mingle. Sunset walked up to Twilight. Twilight perked up and turned toward her. Sunset stopped. Thank you. They paused as they said the same thing. Twilight coughed. You first. Thank you. Sunset sighed. I have a long way to go to be a better duelist. And a better friend. And if you kicking me in the pants is what it took to make me realize I wasn't doing as good as I thought, it was worth it. I was gonna say thank you for saving me. Twilight shook her head. I can't thank you enough for what happened. But I know now there's a lot more I still have to learn with this game. If I want to be a card designer, I had to start expanding my horizons, right? Right, Sunset nodded. You're off to a good start with those Twilight Storm cards. Evil magic aside, they seem pretty cool. They are a good start. But I got a lot of ideas for new cards that could be fun and completely viable. Twilight Swords are just beginning. And aside from them, Twilight stepped towards the group on the field and knelt, picking up the torn pieces of Rainbow's cards and discarded spell cards starting to toss away. I was thinking these could work too. Really? Why not? They're not ridiculously overpowered, and they help your friends beat duelists who, abstractly speaking, have more advanced decks. Good point. Also, the mechanics for pendulum monsters aren't so complicated once you get used to them. Bullshit! I have a few ideas for other archetypes that might benefit from pendulum monsters being added. Twilight looked at the Sunset, if that's okay with you. Sunset turned away and thought. Twilight sparkled, taking something magical and mysterious, figuring out how to make it available to everyone. Secret. Yeah, somehow that sounds right. I still had to actually become a card designer someday. But now, I have a lot more ideas for what to make when it happens. Twilight extended her arm. I'll come back next year to show you what I've come up with. Sunset took her hand. Deal. The two shared a smile, breaking eye contact when someone cut their hands loudly. Well, good to see you two getting along. The two turned their heads as shining armor came up to Twilight and eventually rubbed her hair. It gave her a suspicious look. What's with the change of heart, Twilight? Nothing, Twilight shrugged. Sometimes what you think you want isn't what you need. I like that, but save it for a yearbook. Shiny quipped. Looking over the group, Summer swept his arms in a gesture and stares off the field. Come along, students. We should get going. The shadow boat slowly migrated towards Sabra, fell in line with Hope, leading them away. That's our call, Twilight. Let's go home. Shiny jerked his head away the others. Twilight took a breath. I guess this is goodbye then. Nah, it's just goodbye till next time. Right, Twilight nodded. Smiled again, and followed her shining away. Glancing back occasionally. Sunset waved to her until she looked again, kind of stared to the parking lot. Well, let's play it. Abstract tipped her head, smiled at Sunset as the vibe came closer. Sunset noticed Flash coming up to them too. Can't believe we did it. Flash said in place of Fluttershy. Well, some of us did. Others just, well, you know. No, we all did it. Sunset put a hand to her chest. During our duel, Twilight erased my memories of you. I can still feel there were people counting on me. If it wasn't for you guys, I never would have gotten this deck in the first place. She beat to punch her fist, duel disc shining on her arm. As far as I'm concerned, every one of us won that duel. Very inspiring. Sunset paused and turned around to see Celestia behind her, giving a short, shallow clap. I'm quite impressed with how you turned yourself around, Sunset Shimmer. Only wish that this true duelist that stands before me now had been here prior years. So do I, but better late than never, right? Indeed. Celestia and I looked over the field. Students of CHS, let us hear for another cheer for your winners of the Friendship Cup! The stands cheered, and dozens of students began descending to the field, running at Sunset and her friends. Sunset backed up, bumping into Flash. Many of them came over to her. Was being Twilight Sparkle the most amazing comeback ever? Are you going to compete in the next Friendship Cup? Would you emphasize my grandfather's game shop? You'd be you. Sunset chuckled nervously. Arts started around from her students. Flash leaned towards her. Feeling better about being a leader to the school now? Sunset looked back at him. It's growing on me. And surprisingly, guys, that's the end of the story. No, I mean it. That's the end. I know that doesn't seem like too big of a denouement, but that's it. So, review time. This fic is fun. That's all I really have to say about it. While I don't think it captures the magic of the first story, Duelist of the Olive Crown, I don't think it could have. Duelist of the Olive Crown was unique, special, and worked really hard to combine the elements of the two worlds to make it seem normal. To take the original story of Equestria Girls and to modify it with duel monsters. It felt fun. And I just now found out there's another fic that tries the same thing. Which I'm gonna read later. But it couldn't have. So instead what we got was just a fun little story. I could probably see what some people's arguments are. The battles seemed one-sided at one point. It was too obvious about Sunset and Twilight. Some of the things came out too quick. But the battles were still fun and interesting. If anything, I hearken it to a middle-of-the-road filler episode of, say, Yu-Gi-Oh! Or GX. Not exactly fantastic, but still fun ride. I think that a lot of people's feelings of it being, so on one side probably would have been mitigated if Sunset and Twilight either fought first or last. And Rainbow of Rarity's wins came earlier than just having Applejack, Pinky, and Fluttershy lose consecutively. I think that kind of took away a lot of it. I know a lot of people were also talking about how Twilight felt so robotic in the story. I didn't really feel it. I just felt like she was uncaring and saw duels as only quizzes to be taken. Which, confidentially, felt like a scientist would take it. She did feel like a type of secondary boss to a Yu-Gi-Oh! Story. So, I didn't have much of a problem and I wasn't hurt by it. Overall, it gave me what I wanted. Just a fun little Yu-Gi-Oh! Story. Nothing worse, nothing less. Well, next time, we're going to be taking on somebody I think I should have taken on a long time ago. In the past, I used to be afraid to take this guy on because he was really popular in the fandom for a bit. And at the time, I had such a small channel, and I was afraid of getting his fans to go after me. But now, I feel like his star has faded. Nobody knows who he is. So I feel like I'm free to actually take him on. So, next week, reality check. Nix's family. I'm so sorry.